Y'all, the team here at Velo went so hard on the pro bike checks that even though we planned only one video, we have a part 2. Not only are we digging into the setups of all the pros here at Unbound Gravel 2025, we're going to learn what they're doing and what they're not doing, perhaps most importantly, going to the biggest gravel race of the year. Let's get right to it.
I'm Greg Van Avermaet, former pro cyclist, and now enjoying myself a little bit on the gravel bike.
Can you talk to us just base level? What's going on here?
This is the Urs. It's more like the lifestyle gravel bike, more backpacking oriented. We have, of course, the Cayuse, which I was riding already the whole year, also last year.
Yeah.
But I'm choosing for the Urs because it gives a bit more comfort. It's a little bit less aggressive, a little bit more tire clearance also.
Yeah.
I think on a course like we have here, Unbound, long racing, this bike will probably fit me a little bit better, and that's why I choose the frame. Like you see, it's still like an aggressive frame for me, and even if you ride it, it'll give what you need, I think. And that's why the choice of the frame came to the Urs instead of the Cayuse.
Yeah, so talking briefly about comfort, the Urs usually has like a little bit of a suspension stem here, the Redshift combination one. You have a one-piece handlebar here instead.
Yeah.
What was the decision here? Why did you choose this?
Well, I think it's more racy with that handlebar. I'm racing now probably 5 years already with that handlebar. When it came out, I was directly in love with it. Super stiff. Yeah, it gives a good aero position. Goes a little bit narrow on top. Fits really good in the hand, and that's probably why I made the decision to put it on. And of course, there's a little suspension on the Urs, but it makes it also a bit slow, and you just give it a little bit of different handling on the bike. And as we are still racing, so it's counting for the results, I prefer to have this handlebar instead of the other one.
Yeah, the wheels right here, DT Swiss GRC 1100s, 40mm depth, 24mm internal rim width, and then you have the Pirelli Cinturato all-around tires. We'll have to talk a little bit more about that later in another video, stay tuned for that. I was curious though, I'm seeing one by Shimano GRX, but you have a smaller cassette out back.
Yeah, it's quite small cassette still wanted to test it because as I remember from last year, there are some climbs, of course, but they're not super steep. Depends a bit on the weather, of course. I have a CT Dior from the mountain bike also with me, so I can still switch from that one. But still, this is like a road cassette. So I hope it fits. But I still have to see because I have a 50 on front and a 36 in the back. Will be limit, I think, so. I still have a second option, but I have to test it out tomorrow. But I think the good thing with the Shimano is that you can still mix it up a bit. You have also the Dura-Ace where you can still have your power. And also with this frame, it's hard to build two gears in front. So I choose for one.
By only.
On the Cayuse, I'm always riding the 2 ones, which makes it a bit easier for me because you don't have to swap cassettes, you don't have to swap anything if you have a different race. But for this one, I think it's the best to go one by, and of course you have the Urs that is not really provided to go with 2.
Last question that I have here for this video. There are mounts all over the place on this bike, and there's a down tube storage hatch. Are you going to be using any of that? Are you going to put like a bag up top?
I don't like it.
No.
The one's a bag there, even when I was bike packing. And it's I'm a kind of guy who goes a little bit inside with my knees.
Okay. So you need the clearance.
So then it's rubbing here, and especially when I stand up. I don't get used to it. So I will not ride any bags on top. Maybe I will put like something inside here, like really like inner tubes, stuff like that, stuff that you hopefully don't need. I will put inside there, which is easier. But all the rest I will try to ride without saddlebags and stuff, so to keep it clean. Just for the view.
Last one, tubeless tire plugs. Are you gonna put that inside, or are you gonna put it in back pocket? Or?
Really close. I think plugs you have to really get close to you. Even prepare a few, just to in case. Last year I had 2 flats. So as fast as possible. You always lose some seconds, but if you can do it fast, then you can make it back. But the plugs has to be not inside because you're losing so much time with it. They have to be back pocket or even up here. Just to have it directly there and go as fast as possible because the gravel racing is going that fast these days. That you
it's faster and faster.
Don't have time to stop. When you stop, it's almost over, I think. So.
Oh my gosh. I guess the last question, talking about gravel and the speed of gravel, you've raced everything, all the biggest road races in the world, and this is your second Unbound. How do you think Unbound kind of compares to the likes of like a Paris-Roubaix or like a Classics?
Well, it's still different, but I think it gets from the road races I did. I think it gets quite hilly and quite hard from the start. With Unbound, you still have the feeling you're a little bit in the peloton, and that's a good feeling, you know. Where you can have a little bit of draft, you can still play around a bit, you can save some energy. Felt on the other gravel races, it's just full out the whole day. Where Unbound, I think it's either you still have the time to get into the race, to have an idea, to have a strategy, and that's what's quite nice about this race. That's also, I think, the reason why I come back, because you also feel like even if you're not the best, you still can make a chance. Yeah, of course the drafting, it's nice to have that you don't have, that you at least can use some other power to get up there.
Yeah, I know that you're back for another year, but if you were forced to ride one ride, would you rather do Unbound or would you rather do something like Paris-Roubaix?
Of course, my heart still lays in the road.
Okay.
Because, of course, I loved what I did, but I still love to discover some new stuff. So I always said after career I want to do 2 years, like a little bit different stuff. Because I love to ride my bike. Yeah, if I could choose, I would probably choose Roubaix. But hopefully I can also win Unbound one day.
Well, we're rooting for you. We'll see you out there. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. It is a beautiful, beautiful day outside of Emporia, Kansas. We are with
Melisa Rollins.
And we're gonna talk a little bit about your bike.
Yeah, so this is the Live Devote. I've been on this just for this year. This is my first year on Live, and I'm really excited about this bike.
Yeah, so you're running a SRAM Mullet 50 cassette.
1052.
1052, there you go.
Yep.
Do you know what chainring size you're running?
Yeah, 46.
46, cool. One thing that a lot of people are gonna ask now that we're here is gonna be crank length. Yeah.
165s.
165s.
Yeah.
Is that a recent change?
I've been riding it for a few years, but mostly because I have some hip issues, and keeping a wide hip angle for me is a game changer on the bike.
Have you experimented with anything shorter?
I have not.
Really?
No, I haven't. 165 is good for me. I don't know. It already feels like a trike, so I don't know if we need to be like even smaller.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people out there that say you need to go shorter, but we're not gonna.
If the gotcha goes shorter, then maybe I'd consider. No, I'm just kidding.
That's what I did too. Okay, zip wheels right here. We have the 303 Firecrests.
Yep.
Correct, the 25 mil internal rim width.
Yeah, these are the Kenda Rush 2.2.
2.2s. So
yes.
Liv claims a max tire clearance of 50 mil here.
Yeah, that is incorrect.
Covering their baby.
We've heard it here. I actually don't know a bike frame that accommodates a wider tire than the Live Devote or the Giant. Choose here.
Yeah,
with tire clearance.
Yeah,
that's one of my favorite parts of the bike.
Good. Yeah, we'll definitely dig into that a little bit later. No SRAM UDH, just to note, because it has a flip chip out back, so you can go wider and a little bit longer to
That's right,
a little bit more stability. One thing that I'm curious about is that you have a down tube storage hatch. Is that something that you use?
Yeah, I always keep my tubes in there. So but nothing that I'm gonna need on the fly. So CO2s, that's in my pocket.
Okay. What about like plugs, that type of thing?
Yeah, that would be in my pocket too.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, or taped to the bike, haven't decided. Yeah, I mean, there's a chance you could see something here, but as well.
Interesting.
I would use storage here for bike flat fix repair and all that for this, and not for food storage.
Yeah, but I'm seeing 2 bottle cages. I assume that means you're running water there. You do a hydration pack as well?
Yep, both.
Cool, solid there. Zip cockpit, this is the SL70 Aero?
Yeah.
Right? Do you happen to know how wide these are off the dome?
Yeah, they're 38.
38s. Have you experimented narrower?
I haven't. No, I think these are pretty good for me.
Yeah, okay. Have you experimented with more flare? Because these are road bars specifically, right?
Yeah, I'm just more comfortable on a road cockpit, so.
Yeah. Last thing, you have the time pedals as well. I've seen some road pedal setups out here. Have you considered that as well?
I don't ride with road shoes or road pedals.
Love that. Love that, because a lot of people think there's a huge difference, and that's not always the case, right?
I mean, there is a difference, but for me, it's not worth it.
Yeah, okay, there you go. We'll definitely have to dig more into tires, but we'll see that in the next one.
Yeah, sounds good. Cool. Thanks.
Yeah.
My name is Toby, and I ride for Trek Driftlets, and this is my Trek Checkmate that I'll be racing at Unbound.
Talk to me about the build kit a little bit.
Yeah, I like to run tight bars, 37 bars, a little narrow.
Yeah.
Really good saddle here, Bontrager goods for me at least. It's all personal.
Yeah.
Then we running the 48 chainring up front here and Red Explorer in the back, 1046. Get that full range for the Unbound course, but you don't need too much climbing, so you don't need to go anything bigger than that.
Yeah.
I really love the 11 between the 10 and 12 in the back there. to have that one, and just a little bit quicker shifting is what I prioritize.
I see you've got an aero chainring up front. Do you know how big that is off the top of your head?
Yeah, that's the 48.
48, cool.
Yeah.
And that seems like that's what you're riding at the Traca as well, right? Or were you running a 50?
Yeah, Traca was the 48 as well.
Cool.
But then I had the SL transmission.
Okay. As far as wheels are concerned, you've got Bontrager as well.
Yes, I'm running some 49V, a little bit deeper, a little more aero.
Yeah.
And I paired them up with some Thunderbird 2.1s up front.
Yes, so when I saw you at the Traca, your bike stopped me in my tracks because as far as I knew, Trek says this fits a 45. These are 2.1s, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Obviously, you're fitting them in.
Yes.
It's wet right now. Well, actually, we'll talk about that later in our video when we talk more specifically about tires. Stay tuned on that. One last thing I think people are going to want to know. It's a hot topic. Crank length.
170.
170. Have you played with going narrower or shorter?
I went shorter this year.
Okay.
To 170, but I'm still long. It has helped me go a little bit shorter. I like it, but I don't think I want to go any shorter either.
Cool. You've got top tube feedback right here.
Yes.
You putting anything in specific in there?
Just most of my gels. I really like to have the gels easy accessible there, and I don't love having too much pressure on my back.
Yeah.
So top tube bag is my favorite, so I always run it.
Yeah, and that's a nice narrow bag too.
Yes.
Last question I have here. I'm seeing those bottle cages. They look like they fit a Trek Aero bottle.
They are the Trek Aero bottle cages.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you know if you're going to run those or not? Are you going to stick with the Morton?
I probably won't run the Aero bottles. They're a little bit smaller.
Yeah.
But I've really been happy with the cages. I have not lost any bottles out of it.
Yeah.
So I'm sticking to them.
Yeah. I mean, they look good. They match the bike. What else? We've got the K-Edge
catcher
mount there,
yeah.
chain catcher as well. And then are those HT pedals as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the look.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Look S-Track.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Thank you so much.
Sweet.
Hi, I'm Alexis Skarda and I ride for Santa Cruz Hit Squad, and I'm here at Unbound, and this is my Santa Cruz Stigmata.
Your Stigmata setup hasn't changed too much.
Not a whole lot. I'm choosing to ride the transmission, SRAM transmission, just because there are a lot of punchy climbs out there that I want the gearing for. And then I have a 46 tooth chainring up front for the flat. I think that's just a good gear ratio for me.
Did you experiment at all with 1x13 for access, the 1046?
I train on it, but honestly, I like this for racing on, for those easier rings.
Yeah, you're not alone in that.
Especially for over this amount of distance, you want to be able to reserve as much as you can and not spend too much.
Yeah, right. You mentioned 46 or 48 tooth?
46 tooth.
46 tooth. Do you know crank length off the top of your head?
I'm actually running 160s, and so that was the biggest change actually. I just recently, I went from 165 to 160 a couple weeks ago, and I really like it.
You said you really like it. What changes have you felt, if anything?
I think high cadence, I've noticed that I can maintain a higher cadence, and the hip position is a little bit better, a little more forgiving. I can get a little lower more comfortably.
Would you consider going even shorter if you had the opportunity?
I think so.
Really? There you go. So drivetrain out of the way with the SRAM XX transmission. Up here we have, what are these bars?
These are NV bars. I really like, these are my favorite bars that I've raced with because it has a nice flat top and it's just a comfortable bar. Yeah.
Bar, I believe, right?
I think so.
Yeah, I'm seeing the aero top. It makes me think that that's what that is. Let's see. Frame, Santa Cruz Stigmata. It's been around for a few years. 50 mil tire clearance, front and rear claimed. 1x or 2x drivetrain. You have the 1x, and you have a down tube storage hatch. Yeah. Do you have stuff in there?
So I think I'm just gonna keep the tube and maybe a pump in there. Things that if I need to pull over and take care of something that takes a little longer.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna have things that I need like a dart tool, CO2s, more easily accessible quicker.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you keep those things in your back pocket, or are you attaching it to
I'll
your
probably
frame?
attach it to the frame. Yeah, wherever it fits, kind of.
Yeah. All right, as far as wheels, reserve wheels.
Correct. As a female lighter rider, I think that this is a better option because it's the lightest. So I kind of usually aim or go towards the lighter option, especially with the wind blowing me around. It's just, I think, good for my size.
Yeah. Did you play around with the 40-44 gravel wheels at all?
Not this year.
Okay. Yeah. Tires, Maxxis Reavers. The 45, correct?
Yes.
We'll talk a whole lot more about that in a separate video.
Okay.
Are these going to be the tires that you're going to think you're going to race on?
I'm for sure going to do a Reaver 45 rear with a different casing, and I'm going to play around with maybe a thicker volume tire in the front.
Interesting. Well, happy to learn more about that. We'll definitely do that in another video. Best of luck to you this weekend.
Thank you so much.
See you crush it.
There's so much that goes into prepping your bike and your gear and the rider for a ride like Unbound, especially when you consider just how much is going on there. As we teased in the video several times, there's another video about tires and how these riders are choosing their tires for this ride. Go check that down below, and we'll see you on the next one.